Hello everyone. Hello. This video today is very in the moment. I got up a little while ago. It has been a couple hours. I, have gone through a lot of my morning routine, but I did have some subscribers, viewers, comments, checking in, like communications about how to deal with kind of a hard day. And I woke up today having kind of a harder day. So I thought it would be kind of nice to go through like what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm just turning my watch off there. I just realized. And so I kind of came into this going, okay, I'm just going to sit down and just talk exactly what's going on today. So it's kind of like I'm going to catch up on like what's happened this morning and then kind of how I'm going to proceed through my day and what my options are. So to give a little context, I have Crohn's, I have PCOS, I have ADHD. Those have all been diagnosed. I believe I am autistic as well. That has not been diagnosed, but my father was autistic. My son is autistic. So just kind of hitting the big ones. Those are the big ones. So I do deal with, and then on the side of that is like some sensory processing. I can have some auditory processing issues where it's kind of hard to understand people. So I read a lot of lips or have subtitles on things when I can. Dyslexia. So definitely getting my letters mixed up and things. I think that's the most part. Just to kind of let you guys know on a background if this is the first video you're seeing of me. My name is Katie. I really talk about how your energy can fluctuate, how to plan around it, and if you can. So the last couple days, I've felt like my mind has been going at about a 10 because, and I'll give some more context about that, my body is probably going more at a 5. And this is in terms of my own scale. I would not say my 5 is someone else's 5. I think you should all have your own scales because I think it's a little, it's apples and oranges, right? Everyone is different. Everyone whose body works different is going to have different, they're going to call their 5 their 5. And they only know their own body, right? So you can't really know what somebody else's pain is, flare-ups, like mental capacity, how their executive function is doing that day. So it's only your scale. And I think we do get a little intimidated when we go to the doctor and the doctor's like, oh, well, how are you feeling? Like I had a check-in with my GI yesterday and she's like, how are you doing? And so her patients have a wide range of things. And I do kind of go, well, what does she think I should say? Or what should I say in order to convey that I'm struggling with something or I'm doing well with something? So what number would convey that to her instead of going, wait, what is my body feeling right now? And that's what I had to like slow down and think about yesterday. So other contexts for the past couple of days. So this is a Wednesday. My husband just started a new job. And so our routines are a little disrupted, but my son's still in school. So we have that. He's kind of finishing up the school year. It's the first part of June here. And so like figuring out new just routines and kind of settling into them is really interesting. I'm also filming this in natural light. So the light's just going to come and go. You're going to see my plants here. I didn't have the energy to set up my light and it really doesn't take that much, but that's another context of where I'm at today. So, and then so Monday morning we're hit with like there's this unexpected bill that they should not have billed for, but they took it out of our account. So it's a little bit of scrambling. We're fine. It was a whole lot more than we thought. Well, to put that in perspective as well, I knew the amount. I knew they would probably do this, even though everything said that they weren't. It's it's part of one of those. So scrambling around with that and dealing with that within like the first hour of getting up. And then, my husband's first day and dealing with longer commutes. And then my son having some hard homework that he's been dealing with. Overall though, we're super happy. So the constant through all of this was, like these are good days because we're like super happy that school's coming to an end, that my husband has a job. Like there's really good things going on. So I raced to take the kids to school. We carpool with another parent. And then after school, I picked them up. So I was kind of running on a bit more adrenaline on Monday. Yesterday, I had 2 important appointments with the doctor, the GI. This just kind of happens to be a good kind of example in my life. So that's kind of why I sat down with this. I wouldn't say my weeks are typically like this, obviously, but I think that having so much the last couple days is a good example. So I check in with my GI, who I had learned on my surgery date, May 1st, so a little over a month ago, that she would be leaving her practice. There's other people there, so they're trying to transfer me around. But it was like, I didn't really need that the morning of I'm going in for surgery, not with her, but with someone else, to go, okay, I've been searching for a GI. I found one, and now I need to find a new one. So it was good to check in with her to I need a baseline and I need some tests going on right now so we can make sure that the meds are working. I'm on 2 meds right now. I'm on a biologic shot. I used to do infusions, and I'm also on Imurin. So the combination is working really well for me, but we don't know if it's exactly remission. That's the goal. I'm feeling really good. But so I had that, and then I had an after-school IEP call that we've been struggling with most of the year. I am in very good contact with the caseworker a lot. My son has amazing support at school, but there were some just sticking points, and it had been causing me a lot of distress. And I was trying to sort out, is this just my feelings? Is this for my son? So there was a lot of kind of mental gymnastics. We had some really important talks, and I had to kind of gear myself up. So when I had those 2 appointments yesterday, I had a slower day because I didn't have to do pickup and drop off. My husband was able to do it. My mom was able to pick up, which allowed me to do the phone call because it's like, look, the teacher loves to call right at the time I'm picking up and dropping off. Anyway, so I did the ADHD thing of, when you have those 2 appointments, it's really hard to do much else before those appointments, especially when they're bigger ones. So I'm just kind of like, I have an appointment today. I get 4 hours to stress about it. So, I was able to do some other things, during that time, but yeah, it's not like I could go sit down and do some deep kind of work stuff. But both ended up really well. And so starting off this morning, I don't have my health planner here. I'm also I think it's the day before my cycle starts. And the third part is that I did have, last summer, I was diagnosed with uterine cancer, had a hysterectomy, and that's all good. I didn't have to do any chemo or anything. They caught it super early. And just in time, literally just in time. So, I track my cycles only by breast tenderness right now. Honestly, that's the only thing I can do. 'Cause they took the cervix as well. So I know it's like probably the day before because they are hurting really bad. So I am on like this downward, I've been on this downward energy slope because of where I am in my cycle. I did not go into early menopause. So all those factors come together. And I went to bed early. We've been going to bed early, and that's been helping a lot. I've been shifting my evening routine. I do take showers in the evenings. It just helps me relax. And so I was taking them around 10. I shifted them to 8, and it's working better just the past couple nights, just to kind of help get to bed earlier. And I still was like in this deep, deep dream this morning. And it was really hard. Like I was deep sleep and, the alarm goes off. So I'm kind of out of sorts and just feeling really low today. So yeah, it was kind of like Monday was this high of adrenaline. And then I was coming down a little bit yesterday, but still a lot. And now I'm just kind of crashing. I'm not having any big flare-ups right now, maybe a little bit. And I don't know if I'm stressed. I don't know, but it's very tiring. It's very tiring. So that's where I am now. Just to kind of give some context of why I decided to sit down today. I also, like to put out Wednesday videos. I also like to get back to people who have questions about things. And if there's other videos you'd like to see, please let me know. I usually try to put out like a post and ask some questions like, hey, what would you like to talk about? So going into today, we knew that my husband would take the kids in and I would do pickup. That is what I have on my calendar right now. So that's why I wanted to switch to my calendar. So we have this so far. Let me get my pen out. I made this on Saturday for this week. So I got to here and I was going to film last night and I was just like, we were celebrating getting big things done yesterday. And then that's when like my whole body says, okay, you need to slow down and rest now. I've been celebrating so many awesome things from so many like creators that I've been seeing, from friends that I have that are celebrating like big wins right now. And you may not be celebrating a big win right now. But if you are, just congrats. I feel like there's this kind of season that our family has been in for like a year and a half, 2 years, that it's just been hard, really hard. And I feel like we're finally coming up out of this. We're coming up on like a year since my hysterectomy last year, which was just so much to process, but healed so great from, like it's kind of hitting me as I'm slowing down after this couple days here of just what we've been through. So anyway, this is where I make kind of like a dashboard. This is what I want to film. I'm kind of doing this one right now. I'm going to do this one Friday or Saturday, depending on how I feel. And I have a haircut tomorrow. And I noticed that today was totally empty. So yeah. And then on Friday, we have some time to celebrate our 21 year anniversary. What we wanted to do was celebrate our 20th anniversary last year. And we couldn't because it was like days before my surgery and we knew the news wasn't great at that point. And we're just like, we'll postpone our 20 year. We really wanted to do something special. And I feel like we still will. So, again, I'm just coming off another surgery. And so it's just like, trying to do everything. So, I do need to put a grocery order together on Friday. No, to pick up on Friday. Yes, to pick up on Friday. I don't drink caffeinated drinks usually at all. I drink decaf and that's all I've had today. So my brain might be a little slow. So as I read these things, it might be me trying to catch up. So There was two quick Amazon orders. I'll go into that on my plan with me. That was kind of a train wreck what happened there. So let me share with you another time on that. So the food order, which takes me a while because I forget ingredients all the time. Whenever I'm doing, it's so hard for me because I don't see. It's like when you take a recipe, deconstruct it, then put it into a cart, whether it's literal or digital, and then come back home and then try to reassemble those groupings of meals. I'm always missing something. That's just how my brain works. So I wish, maybe kits would be better to just grab a whole kit. Maybe HelloFresh. I'm not sponsored in any way. Something like that we've never tried those, but maybe that would help my brain. We do like to cook a lot. We do have some great recipes. I have seen people like shop and put them in a basket in the fridge. And I think that would be super helpful too. So I am thinking about groceries. I am thinking like, okay, since I have to submit the order by tomorrow night to pick up on Friday morning, I usually like to pick it up right after I drop off my son. It's just really convenient that way. So that is something I'm putting on the list. So we're starting off with Wednesday here. I sit down and I'm like, okay, what did I not get done? Filming. So actually, I'll start with that. I'm going to tip this. And I'm sorry. It's very... I'll try to make this a little brighter so that the shadows aren't quite as harsh here. But that will be in post. So I'm filming because I really love to. I love making these. And then grocery list. Grocery cart. I'm going to say cart because I'm going to start putting stuff in that. And then usually what helps for me is to put a bunch of stuff in there. And then I go through and then tomorrow I can take things off. So finish grocery order. And I heard someone saying this recently. Oh, it was just a different video. Groceries or groceries? I actually thought I was just the SH version, groceries, but now I'm saying groceries. I think I mumble a little too much sometimes, so I try to enunciate the groceries. So whatever way you do is just fine. We got the yard waste out. So that was great. I saw this, and then we had it was around 3:05 she called, and I'll say school. And I just want to kind of record what day that was because that helps. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot else on here. And the other thing I forgot to mention at the top is, yes, my husband works, and so I don't have to put in a bunch of hours. I have worked in offices. I started my own business in 2005 because it was very difficult to be in an office setting. In about 2005 to 2015, so about 10 years, I was a very solid web designer, had a bunch of clients, doing a lot of work, stayed up all night sometimes because sometimes overnight is the best time to launch websites, did brand work, did marketing work. So I've done a lot of work, but then when I had my son, it was really hard. It was really hard because my body started, I think that's kind of what made my Crohn's worse, or at least it triggered. It can for a lot of people who give birth, is that your body kind of shifts and things just chemically shift in your body. So I am very privileged to be able to stay at home, and but for the last year with my husband not having worked, I got a lot of help at home as well. So I'm coming from the position of like, we had a lot of help at home. I also went through a lot of health things, and I'm coming back out and I'm feeling a lot stronger right now. And so on this day, I have a partner who supports me. I have not much on my schedule. I've kind of looked at this midweek, just looking at this week compared to some other weeks here. This was a harder week. I was doing carpool every single day. Well, there were some pickups from my husband. So I was going every morning because I was able to drive again. I hadn't been able to drive for a little while. So I'm trying to put as much context around this as possible because my situation is never, hardly ever, are people's situations going to be the same. So I just have a lot of privilege with a lot of support right now. And I know a lot of people just don't. They have to go to work. They may be a single parent. They may be just single in general. They have to support themselves. I am not in that position. I don't know how I could do it. I honestly don't. Maybe I'd be having to live with extended family, with my mom or something. I don't know. And sometimes you just try to figure out a way to survive. It was a really long time that my husband was out of work. We were very fortunate that we had a lot of savings. I'll just say that. We were so fortunate. I still don't know how we did it. I don't know how we did it, but we did. And he's just so happy right now. So he was looking at taking any kind of job. He was willing to just do anything he had to so that we had health benefits. That's the other thing. We had all these surgery. I had 4 surgeries while he was out of a job. Like, again, it's not cheap at all. So all that to explain why I have a clear day, I guess. I do also believe like you can take full days off in the middle of the week if you can. Like if you have some days stored up with your job, if you have a flexible schedule, sometimes having a midweek break can work. Another thing I like to put on here. So we made a fresh batch of spaghetti. Let's see if I can say that. It's my son's favorite. Excuse me. And so we are guaranteed leftovers tonight. And leftovers I know he will eat. He can be very sensitive about food and textures. So we just knowing like that he really likes this. We were trying some new sauces last night and he was so excited about that. So I feel really relieved knowing that there's leftovers. I will have to go, CP for me is carpooling. I will need to go pick them up. And I do wear a mask in the car with the other kid. I try to wear masks as much as possible because of all the drugs I'm on. I am definitely low immunity. So I do have to fit in okay, so I'm looking at tomorrow. So this is the biggest thing. I'm sorry if this is so long, but this is kind of the biggest thing is what can I put off till tomorrow? I am looking at today going, this is not the day to pile much on. I am going to record this video and that will be the biggest thing that I do today. I will edit it. I'll get it up. It'll be up later than a lot of my other ones. I don't care. It's going to be up on a Wednesday to kind of stay with that pattern. But if I got it up tomorrow, I would not be sad. I just would like to get it up today because I know I have this kind of calm few hours. I have a haircut tomorrow that I get my haircut like twice a year and it's super long right now and I cannot stand how long it is. I've had really short hair, really long hair. I just need it shorter and it'll be more manageable. It'll help me just kind of get through it's like down to my waist, which I've never done in my entire life. But I just kind of was like, what would it feel like to have really long hair? And it's a lot. And my curls kind of go straighter, and I just don't really like it. So I want my curls to come back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Love my hairdresser. So I have that tomorrow. I kept thinking, I had this scheduled for last week, and I keep thinking I need to go fill the car up with gas. And I'm like, no, that was last week. I've already filled up the car. So after the haircut, I really don't have something after. I'll have to think about that. So I'm just like sketching out what are the things that need to be done. I go back to this dashboard going, what else is there? I could look over my domains today. I've been meaning to do a domain audit. So here's what I do. I write this down, and it's something that I put under research. So this is something where I need extra time to kind of go through things. And sometimes I paste, all my domains into a spreadsheet and then kind of see like which ones can I let go of, because I'm a serial entrepreneur, I guess. I love having like a new project. This is the ADHD part, and then I get revved up with it, and then it kind of falls flat. But there are several ones that have survived the test of time, and I'm still looking at which ones I want to move forward with. There are definitely two, the podcast and my printables, that I've been working on for a long time, that I want to do. And those are like, and I'm going to be tying those together, which is going to be really interesting. So, but do I have the energy for it today? Not really. Not really. I want to have a rest day so that Thursday and then into Friday. So this will be carpool in the morning, and then picking up groceries. So pick up, and then because my husband won't, I don't think he will be here. He probably will take Fridays off, but I think I'll have to put them away. And it's going to be like a bigger order. So I put it on my schedule here because it does take a little time. I'm thinking about any other cleaning stuff. I can't think of anything yet. So that's kind of how I'm looking at this. And my mantra for today is like, I'm saying no today, and that's okay. So that's why I want to name the video that, because like that's about all I can handle right now. As the sun fades in and out here, I hope you can kind of see, kind of what I've written there. But it's mostly I wanted to talk through like what my process is when I'm having a down day. I think there's a lot of pressure to just keep being productive. And here in my mid-40s, I'm like, I need a down day if I'm going to have the next 2 days, next couple days, be productive in my own sense. And I also have to look at this point in my cycle and my meds and everything else, that I also need rest. I also need to slow down, because otherwise I will burn out. And what really happens when I push myself too far is that I do catch some kind of cold or something, and that puts me flat out. And I'm not like looking at every day going, how can I keep myself the healthiest so that it doesn't disrupt my family? It's not that. I just know that I would be miserable if I don't take care of myself, because your body sometimes just says, okay, you need a timeout, or it doesn't have the defense to like combat all of the germs that we're just bombarded with every day. And my son goes to school and he brings home things. His immune system is doing really well, for his age. And so I just have to protect myself as much as possible. My son and my husband both take showers right when they get into the door. So thankfully, that's really helps as well. But there is stuff that they're both kind of breathing in all day. Now, my husband wears a mask at work. My son wears a mask during most of school. But they both have to eat, and they both have to sometimes take a little break. My son sometimes has to take a sensory break from his mask or have PE. There's just times when they're touching things and touching their face, and you can't control any of that. And so germs come home, and I don't like spray everything when they would come in. We used to spray a lot during the, lockdown times, but not so much anymore. And I just stay up to date with all of my immunizations. So definitely get my yearly. I pretty much had every single shot I can get that's safe and to keep everything. My GI yesterday did say I might want to think about a shingles one. That's a two-shot one. And so I am thinking about that over the summer. I'm not on the drug that puts me as much at risk of that, but it would be nice to have that done in case I need to switch meds. So that's all I can do. I can get enough rest. I can drink water, which I'm still working on. It can be hard for me to do that due to some sensory issues. And sleep, water, rest, taking mental day, and a lot of stress. So there was just a lot of stress in the beginning of this week, the last month, and just getting out, taking a walk, taking some time to just be with nature, just taking those moments. There were some storms rolling through. We didn't know because the electricity was fluctuating. And right now it's actually so still outside. I just noticed that I'm looking outside and going, wow, there's not hardly a single leaf moving. And we've had these windy days for days now, with a storm coming through. So I'm going to take the inspiration of nature right now and take some time to be still and to look, just to sit with my brain going, okay, how can I de-stress, let go, meditate a little bit, think about some other things, journal about some things. I also very much condone therapy if you can. I've had years and years of it, and just recently kind of wrapped up because I kind of graduated again, where I just don't feel like it got me through the last year and a half of all these medical things. And I'm kind of coming out the other side, knowing that I can always return. But it is one of my strategies to be able to talk here as part of my therapy, to be able to talk to my therapist, to talk to family. That is a huge way of de-stressing. I do talk to a lot of family about the issues I'm looking at because I can blow them out of proportion. And so kind of looking at what the scale of the issue is, whether it's communicating with someone, whether it's finances, whether it's this or that. All of those can de-stress. And I feel like today is a great day to look at de-stressing and just calming down and recognizing again that my body is in this cycle of rest. And knowing that there's going to be days next week that I'm going to pop back up. So I have, the dentist on Monday, and I have probably a lot more carpooling next week. That's the thing that I'm looking at is I think my husband's going to need to focus on work a whole lot more. I'm going to be taking over a lot more at home. It is very traditional, but because of my business and my flexibility, I don't have the resume that he does. And so I can't go out there and get the job that will carry us right now. And he's always been for me doing that if I ever wanted to, but my body just, and I did. I think if we didn't have kids, I think I would. I think I would have. I would have run my business in a way that it would support us a little bit more. Not that he would stay home, but there are points when it can be really hard to look back and go, I wish my body could have done more so I could have achieved some of the dreams I had. But sometimes your body decides, it just happens. Whether it's genetics, whether it's just age, whether it's all these different things. Disabilities and things are more of a chance. Like when you get older, we all become disabled. There's going to be things that make it hard for us to open bottles, to drive, to walk. That's the nature of life. And for some, it comes a whole lot earlier. So it's not a question of if, it's when. And we all hope that we all live really long, healthy lives. But the reality of it is that we are handed these things and we have to figure out how to balance them. So that's all I wanted to share. And I'm sorry this is a long, rambly one. Actually, I'm not too sorry. I want to share these things. I think a lot of context is important to share about this. And I hope that you can look at your day and say no to some things and be okay with that. So whether they're obligations from others, just saying, you know what, I might have said like a commitment to somebody, but I can change my mind. I can change my mind on anything. You can change your mind on anything, really. You can donate to a cause today. You can tell someone how you really feel. You can ask for help because your body is just not to that point that it needs to be. You can let your family members know that today's a low day, a low energy day. So yeah, definitely in my health planner, I'm going to be saying on this day, I'm like at a 1 or a 0.5. It might be a 0.5 today. There are times when I take naps or I just rest in bed for a little longer after everyone's left. There's things I do in the morning to cope. So if I had something in the afternoon, now yesterday I actually rested yesterday, closed my eyes for a bit. It wasn't like a real nap, but it was enough to my eyes get just so tired and I just needed extra rest time. So take some rest, take care of yourself, and I will talk to you very soon. Let me know if there's anything else that would help you. And if you enjoyed this and my other videos, consider subscribing. But if this one itself, just one and done, really helped you, like it on the way out. So take care, everyone, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.